First Timothy 6:20. O Timothy, keep that which is committed to thy trust, avoiding profane and vain babblings and oppositions of science falsely so called. Call halal Yahweh Ba'ashem Havashai Ba'ashem B'Kakwadash. Double honors unto the apostles, double honors to the elder bishops, salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so, now more so than ever. To the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth, that be like unto the speckled bird, the Israelite foreigners among the heathen that look like the heathen. And to the Akwaf that are listening and learning, to you I say Shalom. This is your brother Malcolm from the branch of the Great Millstone here in Chicago. And it's just going to be a quick lesson. I came across a video and basically it was about someone sent it to me. I think it was a TikTok video. Or I forget where it came from or how I even came across it. But it was a video about this Lara Logan dropping dime on the evolution theory and how it was funded by the Rothschilds and the in the Jewish community. And then I punched it in, and the first one that popped up that I watched was this unhinged theory on evolution. And they're screaming anti-Semitic this and anti-Semitic that, and how dare she, and and the woman that's doing it is the attractive lady from the Young Turks. I think her name is McAdoo. I believe the chick's a Jake, but that's not really that important. I think she's one of those scattered. She got way too much attitude. But anyway, nasty attitude. But she's kind of snaps on this Lara chick about, because she clearly does not believe in the Bible, believe in God, and is really not with that Christian thing. And I've never heard her say anything degrading about Christianity, but I've also pretty much say, hey, keep that shit to yourself. I'm not with that. And she referred to the Bible as your stupid little book. So there you go. So she's definitely going to stand with Darwinism, which means she's a double-minded woman, because Darwinism is straight up about racism and hatred. And then they married Darwinism to the Bible, because you have to remember, they took the science of Darwinism, which talked about the Negroid, the Mongoloid, and the Caucasoid, and they connected that to Ham, Shem, and Japhet in the Bible. That's how they tried to clarify the Negroes here in America as being Hamitic, which is a lie, a complete and total scientific lie. As a matter of fact, let me grab a book. I have two books here. Two Bible dictionaries. Okay? And none of these, the scholars that put these books together identified the fact that in this book, that's why if you look at the newer versions of this, they remove these definitions, well, at least from the Zondervan's. But this is the Zondervan's. We'll look at it first. All right, this is a Zondervan's Compact Bible Dictionary, the Zondervan's. Okay, and we're going to look at the definition of Ham. Okay, and it reads, Ham, the youngest son of Noah, born probably about 96 years before the flood, one of 8 persons to live through the flood, he became the progenitor of the dark races, not the Negroes, but the Egyptians, the Ethiopians, Libyans, and the Canaanites. That also destroys the Kemet thing, because it's letting you know that the Negroes is a different dark race from the Africans, the Hamites, the sons of Ham. They say Kemet, and that word Kemet comes from the word Ham, which is Ham. All right, that's what it means. It means hot. Okay, so that's one source of groups of scholars that put that book together. And now we're going to look at that same definition in this Young's Dictionary Bible. Okay, and I haven't seen an updated Young, so I don't know if this definition is still the same in their newer versions. That's why they often revise books, because the revisions are to hide truths, when they realize that they talk too much. Because these earlier books is why you'll constantly hear me say that the old dictionaries, encyclopedias are the best. That's why they're getting rid of all the hardcover encyclopedias and they're going digital with everything, because they don't want you holding on to those old books, because those old books, especially anything older than the 1970, even better, anything older than 1933, they just let it all out because, you know, they didn't expect you niggas and spiggers to ever be able to read anyway. But we're going to look at Ham in this, and it says, Ham, a son of Noah, Cush and Egypt, put Canaan, all right, the four sons of Ham, the four African sons that are the father of all the African nations in Africa, all right? While they may have all been dark-skinned, they were not, let's turn the page because it continues to the top. Forefathers, then it goes, and there we go. Forefathers of the Negroid races. They are not the forefathers of Negroid races, but rather the peoples associated with Egypt in the north continent of Africa, meaning the land of Canaan. So where Israel and all that is, that was all Africans lived in that land that they call the Middle East in the ancient world prior to the Lord, prior to the Israelites. Okay, it says the Egyptians thought of Canaan as one of their provinces, even into very latter times. So even above Egypt into the land of Canaan, which is referred to as the Middle East today, Africans were living there, but they were not the Negroes. The Negroes is a different dark race of people because the Negroes are so-called Israelites. So history is basically destroying Darwinism. And especially with that whole superiority thing, because as soon as professional sports opened up and then all the inventions of the early 1900s, I mean, the toilet, the broom, the mop, the air conditioning, the engine, the stove, all those were created by so-called black people. You know, and because you will constantly hear white people, so-called white people, say that, you know, well, Negroes they have no history and they contributed nothing and blah, 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 blah. Look, the most used device today is GPS. And guess who that was created by? A so-called black person, a so-called black woman to be exact. And that is the most used device, science, in the world today. All right? Global positioning. All right? That technology was created by a so-called black woman. All right? So there you go. The world wouldn't move without it. America, no major place. All right? So, look, the earth was just given into the hands of the wicked, man. But I'm going to go to and play a couple short videos that are on, I was hunting for these. And they either use science or they use religion as a weapon. Matter of fact, let me get that. Let me read that scripture first. Let's get that. This is Job 9:24. I know it by heart, but I'm going to read it anyway. And it reads, Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, wherein, who is he? All right. They covered up the faces and they claimed to be the people of the Lord and put their faces up. And another thing that they used to do that with science was Darwinism. Darwinism was also one of those veils that they used to cover up and hide who the nations are, who the people are, and cast the confusion over the whole earth. That's why people get so confused or offended when we come out and start giving them real history. You know, especially when it comes to that European thing. Once you let white people, so-called white people, because that was a social construct that they labeled themselves and created in the 1600s, put it into law in 1681, or actually into documentation. Because prior to that, no one was called white. Okay? But this is Isaiah 25:7, and it reads, and he will destroy in this mountain the face of the covering cast over all people and the veil that is spread over all nations. All right? And one of the main ways they did that was with this toxic Christianity, love, and or pseudoscience, false science, which pseudoscience is still being used to rule over the people of the world today. All right? So let me get a couple short videos demonstrating exactly what I'm talking about. Okay? Let's see what this hold on, let me make sure the sound is up. Get it in there. And let's go with it.
All right, Council's finest, let's have a conversation. You say that America isn't the world. It's not like this in other parts of our planet. And I'll call you a liar. At the intersection of whites and non-whites, no matter where you go on the planet, you'll find the same things. What Europeans did to the indigenous peoples of the Americas are the same thing they did to the indigenous peoples of Australia. They did the same thing to the peoples of Tasmania, but except they succeeded in wiping them off the face of the earth.
Mm-hmm.
The same things Europeans did to the peoples of South Africa is the same thing they did to the peoples of India. European enslavement was so widespread that Aztec warriors fought Ottomans in the Philippines.
Damn.
You understand what I'm saying? It's bigger than what you think. So wherever you go in the world, at the crossroads of whites and non-whites, you will find genocide and enslavement. Prove me wrong.
All right. You know what? So let's hold on. Let me play one more for you. Let's put the ice. This is the icing on the cake right here.
Say one thing that will immediately make white American conservatives upset.
There is nothing more harmful than white Christian love. Nothing more dangerous than white Christian love. And no hate is comparable to white Christian love.
One more time.
Say one thing that will immediately make white American conservatives upset.
There is nothing more harmful than white Christian love. Nothing more dangerous than white Christian love. And no hate is comparable to white Christian love.
Say one thing that will immediately make white American...
With that, I rest my case. So I'm going to give all praises, all honor and glory unto Yahweh. Doesn't want to focus now. All honor and glory unto Yahweh by Hashem Nehawashai, by Hashem Rakak Wadash. Wa Abba Babal, Kwam Yasharala Shalom.